July 18th, 2022. Overwatch 2's second beta came to an end. I came to a realization of playing the same game for years and years, watching it slowly die and surviving all the horrible states the game went through. From a single team composition ruining the game, to a single character ruining the game, to the company itself ruining its reputation. Eventually, a game you loved and cherished for years, you have grown as a person and as a player. Then the game goes into the most dead state you've ever experienced. This state of the game we called Graveyard Season. It was the lowest player and view count in the history of the game's existence. Players having an average of 20 to 30 minute queue times to get into a match, and the best player spending up to an hour in queue just to play with the same 20 people playing at the time. The community was dead, and it was a shame to admit that you were part of it. I've had my eye on Final Fantasy XIV since Endwalker released, and I saw how interesting of a game it can be after watching Asmongold play it through A Realm Reborn for the first time and followed him to the end where he stopped playing in Stormblood. And once Overwatch 2 beta ended, that marked my leave, and I told myself that I am going to be dedicated to this game. A new game. And that's where Final Fantasy comes in.
Final Fantasy XIV Online is a critically acclaimed MMORPG with an expanded free trial that you can play the entirety of A Realm Reborn and the award-winning Heavensward expansion up to level 60 for free and no restrictions on playtime.
I didn't do that. Well, I did get the free trial, but I didn't play it. I messed around in the character creation for a bit, then closed the game, waiting for me to play it on stream. That day didn't come, until a few months later when the pesky Overwatch 2 beta ended and it was my first time to start my journey as an adventurer. A bunny girl adventurer. I enjoyed my time with this bro. One of my first memorable experiences was these two players questioning Aliport, and one of them ran up to me on their mount and gave me some gil and told me to enjoy the game for how it is and that they're glad to see new players. That wholesome experience held close to my heart and how the community really cares about their player base. Obviously, I said, "Thank you," and moved on with my journey. And there was this one time one of my viewers went into me in the world and wanted to show me some cool stuff. He was a wannabe mentor. Someone who wanted to be a mentor but didn't actually have the mentor status. He gave me some high quality gear and showed me around Lenosha. I was in awe of how cool the world looks, and he talked about how he's been playing the game for some time. He landed at a training dummy to show me some high level abilities I could do in the future, and that's when I knew I loved this game. But do you know what I love more? Caffeine. Caffeine is in my bloodstream. I cannot live without it. If I drink raw water, I think my entire immune system would collapse and die from this poison we call oxygen. But I do need to stay hydrated, healthy, and sometimes clean. So the solution, if I need caffeine and hydration liquid to keep me from collapsing, I might have an idea. Dubby. Dubby is an energy formula that you can mix in your hydration liquid to keep you energetic while you farm extreme mounts or going through your relic weapon quest, because we all know how boring that can be. And if you're not a fan about the caffeine lifestyle, Dubby also has caffeine-free products that just make your hydration liquid taste exquisite. And you can get your flavored hydration water powder for 10% off using code Inspelled at checkout. And don't forget to pick up a shaker cup while you're at it, because these are honestly really cool. And let's get back to the video. After I completed A Realm Reborn Part 1, I reformed and used my Fantasia, then I turned into a cat girl. Best girl, a fantastic piece of art. You have no idea how much I love my character and how much I'm attached to her. I would literally do anything to save her because she's the best thing that ever happened to me. So I wandered through the MSQ simping for Yastola and random catgirl NPCs, then stumbled upon some content called Extreme Trials. Yeah, right there, Extreme Trials. It's gonna be the easiest shit I've ever done. Alrighty then, let's continue with the MSQ. Oh look, raids, boom, easy. Alliance raids, Crystal Tower, sleeper content. Oh, this actually looks good on me. Too bad it only took me like 40 or 50 clears, but at least it was worth it just to replace it with the PvP I totally grinded for on the job I play. I spent way too much time in A Realm Reborn, like oh my god. Oh Heavensward, where do I start? let's get out of the way. I didn't like Heaven's Sword as much as other people did. I watched Asmongold play through the expansion like 3 times before I even bought the game, and I tried and tried to like the expansion, but it was literally just, oh, dragon, actually good. Let's manipulate the rest of Eorzea to believe dragons are actually good and have feelings and emotions, and they're actually important to the story. The lore. Alexander, boring. Raids are mid. T, haven't done it. The dungeons, I don't care. I simply don't think it's better than the rest of the game. That doesn't mean I don't like it, and it isn't good. Ishgard is one of my favorite social spaces in the entire game. It looks so cool. The Manderville questline gives you this little thing. And the Sky Islands are pretty cool. And there's like a couple other areas that I actually like went back and took a look at them, and to be honest, they're honestly really cool. The zones are really nice. But what about Stormblood? Stormblood is the most unique expansion that the game has to offer. It includes Eureka, unique dungeons and trials. The Delta Escape raids are cool. The Alliance raids are kinda mid, to be honest. The only one I remember is this one. Kugane and the residential area are probably my favorite areas in the game. It's probably because I'm a weeb. Like, look at me, bro. I'm literally a VTuber. There's a jump puzzle in Kugane that I'm never gonna do. The inn is bigger than 4 Japanese apartment complexes. And there's a fucking Monster Hunter quest line that you fight Rathanos as a trial, then you get a little palico as a reward for completing the quest line. The MSQ introduces you to Yosatsu, or however the fuck you say your name. And so much more things to experience throughout the story. I just can't get enough of this expansion. I love it so much. And then we have Shadowbringers. This is gonna be a long one, dude. Shadowbringer starts you off getting isekai to another world where characters you knew before are not the characters you knew before. And let me tell you, the Crystarium looks amazing, but the Aether Crystals are placed poorly for how big the space is. But besides all the little complaints about the world placement and assets of each area, the main story is the best out of the previous expansions. It's pretty much like, hey, remember me? No, why are you in my house and why do you know my name? You're just like how I remembered. And who is this little precious cat boy? You don't need to hide under that little hood of yours. I've been on Twitter. I've seen more of you, my good sir. And look at this daddy. I mean, I meant Pint Selch. I love a 90 master crafted character with perfect rotations from head to toe. The funny little dickhead that uses you for his devious plans. That doesn't fall through, and when the story ends, he gets replaced with another funny guy called Van Daniel.
Because I want wretched creatures who ask such meaningless questions to die! You! And you! And you! I want you all to die! And I want to die too!
Yeah, that guy's weird. Then the story ends up just setting up Endwalker with a whole bunch of wholesome cutscenes that you'll cherish for the rest of time. Then we're ready to set sail to the next adventure. Or so you thought. Do you really think I wasn't going to talk about the near raids? The story is actually kind of depressing, but in my opinion, it was a pretty good side story content. Only if the queues didn't take an hour each. Like, how is no one queuing up at 1 a.m. in the morning? Or is it the middle of the night? And why did everyone have this up so much? Yeah, sure. The Alliance raids are actually really fun and unique from any other raids in the game. But wouldn't that encourage people to play it more? And with the gear you get from it, you can make amazing glams. 2B leggings. Like, I love every raid, but why doesn't everyone want to play them? Is it the last battle a little bit too difficult for the average player? Do people not like the hacking sex portion of the series? I don't know. It's the only Alliance raids I actually like in the game. But for the Eden raids, let me tell you, they're just hard, dude. It has an amazing story, highlighting Rin and Gaia's relationship, their fucking gay-ass relationship. But if we only look at the actual raids, they're really fun and challenging for the average player. Maybe I'm making the connection, the harder the content, the more fun the game is. Or maybe I just suck and aspire to get good. And yeah, that's the point where I'm at in the game. I haven't done any Boss Joe or Savage / Ultimate content yet. I haven't really gotten too far into crafting and gathering. I have gone into the RP and venue scene that the amazing community has brought together. Seriously, if you do GTA RP or roleplay in any game, I promise you'll like what Final Fantasy has in store for you. And don't get me started about housing. I'm way too broke for that. And yeah, this is my transition into exclusively doing Final Fantasy content from now on and officially taking my leave out of the Overwatch community. Not like I had an impact anyway, but let me just get this clear. I don't hate the game. I just don't have an attachment that I used to have. Same with their community, but if you're interested in watching me play through Endwalker and doing all the content in that, follow my Twitch because I'm also moving back over there instead of streaming on YouTube. Even if you miss a stream, you'll be posted into live streams playlist. I got you, VOD watchers. I got you. So, I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like, comment, and subscribe for the algorithm. And if you couldn't tell, I fucking love this game, man.
So I'm careful not to waste it. Run up on the gang, you get left right on the pavement. Every time an asshole, I don't mean to say it. Andrew sits on her knees, no she wasn't praying. Hella niggas salty like the Himalayan. Hella niggas mad, it don't make no sense. Now I'm charged up like a fucking Super Saiyan. If you got a problem, you get left past tense.